What happens when a warrior faces his greatest challenge yet? A white-haired woman urgently hands Derek glowing purple orbs as the deadline approaches. 30 seconds until the portal closes. Her warning is clear: don't be inside when it seals shut. Derek gulps nervously on the rooftop, the city sprawling beneath them in the dying light. But his confidence never wavers. "I've got this under control," he declares. This isn't Derek's first rescue mission. The dark-haired warrior exchanges words with his blonde companion as energy swirls around them both. "Go through the portal, save the day, get back before dinner," comes the casual command. But Derek knows better. The stakes are always higher than they appear. As the portal reaches full power, he steels himself for what's coming. The cloaked figure emerges from the swirling purple portal with a staff in hand. Blood splatters the debris-filled landscape as chaos reigns supreme. Wild-haired attackers with fierce red eyes strike without mercy. In the midst of this nightmare, Derek can only gasp one phrase: "Damn it. How'd everything go so terribly wrong?" Time becomes meaningless in the cosmic void. Days, years, decades, Derek has lost count. Against the backdrop of swirling galaxies and black holes, his scarred face reflects endless torment. That day replays in his mind over and over again. It was supposed to be simple. After years of mastering the system alone, how could he have been so blind? Explosions tear through the otherworldly battlefield as the white-haired woman screams for Derek to reach the portal. Time is running out. "We can't leave them," Derek shouts back, his brown hair whipping in the chaos. He was one of the strongest system users on the planet. But strength means nothing when you can't save everyone who matters. Purple energy crackles as Derek reminds his dying companion of their failed escape. The wounded man weakly thanks Derek for trying to save him. "Just keep moving," Derek urges, promising safety lies ahead. But then the accusation cuts deep. "Liar." The betrayal stings worse than any blade. As an ominous creature approaches, Derek's world begins to crumble. The cloaked figure stands within the swirling portal as Derek questions everything. Why did he even try to help them? Sweat beads on his scarred face as he reaches desperately toward the mystical gateway. "Come on, just a little longer." But something dark approaches with a menacing growl. "Don't you dare." Derek's voice breaks in a frantic denial. "No, no, no." Derek reaches out with everything he has, purple energy swirling around his outstretched hand. The connection he's fought so hard to maintain hangs by a thread. Then comes the sound that changes everything. Snap. The spiky-haired warrior's eyes go wide with shock and confusion. What just happened? But the answer will haunt him forever. Derek's world shatters as he grapples with the impossible. Why did this happen to me? His voice cracks with anguish. Was he too weak? Did someone betray him? The questions torment his mind as he clutches his weapon, sweat dripping down his face. In the chaos of swirling darkness, one horrible truth emerges. His mind might be playing tricks on him again. Floating in the mystical void of stars and energy, Derek's patience wears thin. "Any day now," he mutters, uncertainty gnawing at him. Months? Decades? He's lost track of time in this cosmic prison. But Derek refused to break. He prepared endlessly, trained his body beyond its limits, growing stronger than he ever thought possible. Yet still, he waits. Through the swirling portal, the cloaked figure leaps with desperate grace. Years of meditation, practice, and training fuel his hope. Someday he'll see the sun again. Suddenly, a system alert chimes. Ding! The scarred warrior's eyes narrow in confusion. An error message flashes red across the screen, warning that the host is moving out of system range. What? No! Error messages flood Derek's vision as the system screams warnings. He's moving out of range, leaving the only world he's ever known. Wait, wait, wait. Derek pleads with a digital voice. "You can't do this to me." His hands clutch his head in desperation. The system is all he has left, his final connection to everything that made him who he was. Connection lost. The words appear like a death sentence. Derek raises his tear-stained face, begging the void not to take his system away. Damn it, He unleashes a furious attack, energy exploding around him. But this place offers no escape, no matter how strong he becomes. Not even the agony tearing through his flesh can free him from this nightmare. In a cosmic void where stars drift like forgotten dreams, Derek reaches his breaking point. I give up, just let me die. His face cracks with the strain of holding himself together. He'd lost himself once before and can feel it happening again. As darkness closes in, Derek surrenders to the inevitable. He slips quietly into the abyss. But then, the void called. Purple energy erupts from a vertical chasm as reality itself begins to fracture. Derek lies back, overwhelmed by the force pulling him toward something new. A massive crack splits the darkness. Through his confusion, Derek spots it, a genuine fissure in his prison. That's a crack, he gasps, and it's not reforming. Derek's desperation transforms into raw determination. I'm getting the hell out of here. Energy crackles around his outstretched hand as he focuses everything on escape. I don't care what's on the other side. I don't care where it leads. His voice rises to a roar. Anything, even death, is better than staying. The cloaked figure laughs mockingly as chaos erupts around them. Kaboom! The explosion tears through the void as Derek breaks free from his cosmic prison. The hooded figure recoils from the blast, his dark reddish hair whipping in the chaotic winds. Certainly doesn't feel like another hallucination, he mutters, steadying himself. His eyes narrow with grim understanding. So that's what's strong enough to break a hole in my prison. Face to face with a monstrous creature of twisted flesh and glowing red eyes, Derek's lips curl into a dark smile. I know it's been a while since I've talked to someone, but I'm pretty sure that's not how you say hello. The beast snarls menacingly as purple energy swirls between them. Derek's eyes gleam with dangerous curiosity. Besides, I'm starting to wonder how strong I am without my system. The creature unleashes a devastating energy blast from its gaping maw, but Derek doesn't flinch. The clash erupts with tremendous force. Smash. Bang. In the chaos, a white-haired figure emerges, face cracked with battle damage. With lightning speed, they dash forward, the sound of their movement cutting through the cosmic storm like a blade through silk. Derek moves like liquid lightning, dodging the creature's massive strike. But his next evasion comes too late. I can't dodge in time. The explosion engulfs him in a thunderous kaboom. He tumbles backward, groaning as pain shoots through his body. Above him, the towering beast laughs with malevolent satisfaction. You big, ugly bastard. Derek snarls from the ground. Derek clutches his scarred head, disorientation washing over him. Now I'm over 50% sure you aren't a hallucination. The sight of blood on his robotic hand brings a twisted smile to his face. Make that 100%. For the first time in ages, he feels pain, real, honest pain. And just like that, the fog clears from his mind. Electricity surges through Derek's body as he raises his energy-charged weapon. His eyes burn with newfound purpose. Death is as good an escape as any other. The words carry the weight of decades spent in torment. Behind him, a massive portal pulses with ominous light. Derek stomps down hard, the ground cracking beneath his feet with a thunderous crunch. After decades of imprisonment, he's finally found his weapon. The hooded figure falls through space, clutching a glowing red orb as the purple entity roars nearby. But this is Derek's moment of truth. After losing his sanity, after nearly losing his will to live, he has surpassed his limits. The energy beam shoots upward with a brilliant whoosh, illuminating the cosmic battlefield. Years of suffering have forged him into something beyond human. Derek's hair whips wildly as he unleashes his fury upon the cosmos. Either kill me. The cloaked figure beside him draws a crackling sword, ready for the final confrontation. Energy erupts in a magnificent kaboom that sends debris flying in all directions. Derek's voice cuts through the chaos like a blade. Or get out of my way. The universe itself seems to tremble before his wrath. The cosmic void rumbles as Derek leaps through the floating purple crystals with desperate grace. Each bound carries him further from his prison, closer to freedom. His scarred face shows nothing but focused determination. Leap, 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 through the swirling darkness, past the fragments of a shattered cage. And I. The words hang in the air like a promise. Out! Derek roars as he breaks through the final barrier. Electric energy surrounds him as he soars through the chaotic sky, laughter erupting from his throat. After endless torment, after losing everything, he sees it again. The sun. Its golden light washes over his face as he throws back his head in maniacal joy. Freedom. The word echoes across dimensions. But freedom comes with new dangers. Derek runs through dense foliage, breathing hard as he checks over his shoulder. Did he lose his pursuer? Meanwhile, a blond boy in simple clothes pants heavily through the trees. I never should have wandered away from the village. Thomas regrets his decision. If only I'd waited a few more days. Thomas gasps in alarm as he stumbles on the rocky cliff's edge. Curse my luck. The blond boy loses his footing, tumbling toward the dark waters below. The mountainous landscape offers no mercy as he clings desperately to the rocky ledge. I'm so dead, he cries out. Below, something massive moves in the depths with a threatening WHOM. The blond boy raises his hand in desperation as a fearsome wolf creature lunges from the chaos. Purple lightning crackles around the beast's dark fur and glowing red eyes. The ground crumbles beneath them as Thomas plunges into the turbulent waters. Somebody help me. His voice echoes through the storm as the nightmare unfolds around him. Thomas coughs and sputters on the rocky riverbank, his blonde hair plastered to his head. I'm alive, he whispers in disbelief. Then his eyes widen as a brilliant star streaks across the night sky. But this is no ordinary meteor. Energy cracks through the air with a thunderous boom. Massive splashes erupt from the water as the young boy watches in awe and terror. Thomas shivers uncontrollably as fear grips him. I just escaped a wolf, and now there's a demon? His voice cracks with panic. Nearby, a dark armored figure stands with a sword glowing blue in the darkness. A system alert flashes red. Invasion detected. As realization dawns on Thomas, he can only whisper in confusion, "What is this?" Thomas teeters on the cliff's edge as a cloaked figure dashes through the air with supernatural speed. Purple and pink energy swirls around the mysterious newcomer as they move within human grace. Thomas looks up with wide, panicked eyes as the situation spirals beyond his understanding. What's going on? He gasps, sensing dark forces converging around him. Kaboom! Pink and blue light erupts across the landscape as magical forces collide. The explosion fades to silence, then reveals devastation. A pale figure in a dark cloak lies unconscious among the broken stones, their dark hair framing a motionless face. Nearby, a massive gray wolf shakes itself vigorously, recovering from the blast. Two piercing eyes glow faintly in the darkness. A wolf's silhouette appears against the cloudy sky as Derek lies exhausted in the grass. His mind drifts back to that tormenting experience, trapped for so long, stripped bare, stretched thin until he was nothing but broken fragments drifting in the void. His face cracks like fractured glass as the question haunts him. Was it all gone? Fragmented thoughts swirl through Derek's mind like purple lightning in the darkness. My life before, my home, my system. The questions multiply as he struggles to separate dream from reality. The disheveled warrior groans, muttering about wanting 5 more minutes of sleep. But there's no rest when a snarling wolf looms above him, teeth bared for the kill. In the green forest, Derek lies on the ground laughing. Stop it, that tickles. But his amusement turns to alarm when a red dragon-like creature roars from above, its yellow eyes blazing with hunger. I said stop. Derek snaps as Thomas tackles the beast. The blond boy watches in shock shouting his fear to the world. He's a demon. Derek's face lights up with unexpected joy as he lifts the small creature. A puppy? Come here, boy. The red dragon-like beast growls in the background, but Derek sees only innocence. Among the mystical mushrooms and eerie skull, he marvels at the forest's strange beauty. The loud puppy growls, and Derek hushes it gently. I guess it wasn't a dream after all. Derek stares at his hands in confusion, his system interface flickering to life. I have my system back. He frowns at the holographic display, noting the missing achievements. Something's different, fundamentally wrong. We're years of progress. His jaw clenches with determination. I better still have my skills. The energy around him pulses, forming sharp waves of potential destruction. Derek tests his abilities in the forest clearing, executing a swift sword strike that sends leaves swirling. But something's wrong. He stares at his blade, and the small wolf-like creature with purple patterns, doubt creeping into his mind. Another powerful energy slash cuts through the air, followed by a lightning strike and Derek's agonized cry. Ack! Derek clutches his head in frustration, his rugged face twisted with anger. Why won't my skill activate? A red error message flashes, invading system detected. The small grotesque creature nearby chews contentedly, oblivious to Derek's crisis. Does that mean there are two of them? How did I even get here? Derek stomps the ground with a sharp snap. Derek holds the small creature while growling at the forest shadows. Who's there? A panicked voice responds from the undergrowth. Thomas, kneeling with hands clasped in supplication. Please don't eat me. I just want to find my way home. The blond boy sits nearby, confused by Derek's appearance. You mean, you're not a manifesting demon? Suddenly, the red dragon-like beast snarls loudly, causing Thomas to yelp in terror. Derek scolds the injured pink creature while Thomas questions his sanity. The beast has blood matted in its fur from recent violence. What level are you, Tommy? Derek asks. Thomas corrects him. It's Thomas, and admits he's still level 0 at 12 years old. Derek's expression grows serious as he explains the harsh reality. To unlock the system, you must kill. Thomas kneels beside the purple-patterned wolf, believing it was just playing. Then crack. Derek's weapon strikes without mercy. Why'd you kill it? Thomas demands in shock. It wasn't a pet, Tommy, Derek replies coldly. The boy's innocence clashes with Derek's brutal pragmatism. I know you're 12, but are you really this naive? The creature lies bleeding, its life extinguished. Derek points out the absurdity of Thomas being level 0. If you're level 0, then the second I let go, it would have torn you to shreds. His interface explodes with notifications. Level up, 282 experience points gained. Derek's eyes light up with excitement. This is more like it. Even more notifications appear, fueling his growing anticipation for power. Derek's smugness grows as he reveals his secret. This new system was unable to get rid of my old one. He pieces together the truth with growing confidence. So I was right. My old system isn't gone. I have two. Thomas's stomach growls audibly in the forest silence, adding an unexpectedly human moment to Derek's revelation about possessing dual systems. Beside a crackling fire, Derek offers Thomas a water flask. Don't drink so fast. You'll make yourself sick, he warns as Thomas gulps eagerly. The blond boy thanks him gratefully, his simple white and red garment marking him as someone far removed from Derek's harsh world. Derek's mind turns to his next challenge, accessing his original system. Derek reflects on meditation being one of the most powerful skills. He attempts to purchase it through the new system, but suddenly, BABUM, energy pulses violently as lightning illuminates his shocked face. The skills are merging. Thomas calls out in concern, asking if Derek drank too fast. I'm fine, Derek insists, though his expression suggests otherwise. Derek holds his head, sweat beading on his brow from the intense sensation. It was like I was on fire, he reflects with disbelief. His meditation skills instantly jump to level 20. His old abilities are returning. They were dormant, not destroyed. The system successfully suppresses the threat. Derek raises his fist triumphantly, realizing he can become even stronger than before. Derek confidently shows off his futuristic device while they walk through the mystical forest. Thomas worries about slipping, but Derek assures him the clippers do all the work. He reminds Thomas of their bargain: safety in exchange for information about this place. The magical woodland glows softly around them as they discuss the world's deeper mysteries. The conversation turns dark as Thomas reveals the truth about their world. A king with a fiery crown rules through oppression, while nobles manipulate the great system for personal gain. Chains bind the lower classes, keeping them powerless while the wealthy grow stronger. In the shadows, someone whispers about killing a threat while it's caged. Revolution simmers beneath the surface of this broken society. What was meant to be a tense confrontation takes an unexpected turn. The blonde boy frantically waves his sword, begging for his life as Derek approaches. But Derek's intentions aren't what they seem. With a hint of dark amusement, he reassures the trembling boy that he's not insane. Then comes the verdict that changes everything. Congratulations, you get to live. As sunset paints the distant mountains in golden hues, Tommy stirs awake. Derek questions him about the direction to his village, but something crucial clicks in Tommy's mind. His eyes widen, sweat beads on his brow. That moment of realization, when you remember something that changes everything. What has Tommy just recalled? Tommy's worst fears materialize before his eyes. He sprints frantically, calling out for Mr. Jones, but what he discovers stops him cold. Blood pools everywhere. A lifeless figure in a white coat lies motionless on the ground. The sound of doom echoes through the air as Tommy's voice breaks. Mr. Jones. The horror of loss crashes down like thunder. Tommy can't comprehend what happened. A man nearly level 30. How could such power fall? Derek's response cuts deep with cold reality. 30? Is that supposed to be strong? The brutal truth hits harder when Derek reveals he recently killed a wolf at level 53. In this world, Tommy's definition of strength is nothing but an illusion. Tommy's world crumbles as reality sets in. That's impossible, he denies, but Derek's truth cuts through his delusions. If such monsters exist, they need to warn Chief Reyna immediately. The forest around them bears fresh bloodstains, evidence of the violence that has already begun. Time is running out, and home may already be under siege. But Derek's ominous words hang in the air like a death sentence. If the kid even has a place to return to, deep in the twisted forest, something ancient stirs. A ghostly green orb pulses with otherworldly energy. Step by step, a gray wolf with crimson markings approaches the mysterious light, drawn by forces beyond comprehension. The forest erupts into chaos. Blood streams down a warrior's face as a monstrous wolf bares its fangs, eyes blazing yellow with predatory hunger. Bodies slam against trees. A skeletal figure emerges from the shadows, surrounded by creeping vines, its hollow presence adding to the nightmare. The very forest itself seems to be turning against all who dare enter. From the darkness steps a creature of pure nightmare. Green skin stretched over a hulking frame, horns jutting from its skull, adorned with the bones of its victims. Yet beyond this horror, a peaceful village nestles against majestic mountains. A young woman with auburn hair stands calmly, asking if Bro can handle his burden. The calm before the storm. Life in the village flows with simple joy. A red-haired girl proudly announces she's unlocked the great system, her mother beaming with pride. They walk through quaint streets as the girl excitedly discusses her leatherworking skills. She dreams of helping her father with tasks from the hunt. Such innocent ambitions in a world where innocence doesn't last long. 2 weeks ago, everything seemed possible. A 13-year-old girl stood ready to contribute to her village, preparing for what seemed like a grand adventure. The target? A level 10 troll, what they called a monster. How naive they were. A fluffy fox plays with flowers, labeled level 10, while they planned their great hunt. If only they knew what real monsters looked like. Achievement unlocked. 25 skill points received. But Mallory regrets her choices, wishing she'd spent her points differently. Her guardian reassures her that she'll grow used to the brutal realities of their world. Travis bursts through the door, shouting urgent commands about taking Brandy to the eastern gate. Something terrible is coming, and preparation time has run out. Tra arrives bloodied and frantic, explaining to Malor that powerful beasts are attacking, stronger than anything they've ever faced. Malor grabs his arm, demanding answers while trying to protect their daughters. With flames reflecting in the sky behind them, Tra tells his girls to listen to their mother. His final words pierce the chaos. I love you both. Please stay safe. In a village consumed by flames, a red-haired girl clutches another child, seeking comfort in desperate words. Mom, is nobody going to be okay? Her mother insists their strong leader will return to them. A man with dark hair tries to organize their escape, telling them they might avoid the fire if they move quickly. Hope flickers like the flames around them. A woman with red hair attempts to maintain calm, telling everyone there's no need to panic. But a young warrior in brown armor sees the truth approaching. His face goes pale as he whispers a curse. The sound of something massive crashing through the trees signals the end of their brief moment of hope. Run! The word echoes as terror descends. Blood splashes across the forest floor as a girl in white runs frantically, calling for her mama. A monstrous wolf with glowing yellow eyes and a bloodied maw stalks through the chaos. The girl grips a weapon, desperately urging Brandy to follow her instructions. But Brandy hesitates, and in that moment of hesitation, the beast prepares to strike. The red-haired fighter screams with desperate authority, I said run. Her weapon clashes against the approaching darkness as a thunderous slam reverberates through the air. A stressed father tries to shield his daughter from the nightmare unfolding around them. All they need is enough time for Mal to reach safety. Just hold them off long enough. The red-haired girl stumbles through the burning village, defiance blazing in her voice as she tells someone they can die. But her escape is cut short as she collides with a knight in silver armor. From behind her, a voice offers help, but suspicion fills another character's response. Trust becomes a luxury they can't afford in this nightmare. Tears stream down the young woman's face as she makes a desperate plea. Please, don't let my mom die. A blonde warrior in a cape rushes toward her, his own cry of please echoing her desperation. In the chaos of memories, she brandishes a weapon against overwhelming odds. A dark-haired man in armor calmly responds to her plea. Okay, sometimes salvation comes from unexpected places. In the blood-soaked woods, the girl clutches her weapon with trembling hands, terror written across her face. Two dark wolves discuss their hunt with casual cruelty, debating whether to care about experience points or simply kill their prey. A shadowy figure in dark armor grins with anticipation, declaring that this is going to be fun. Predators circle their helpless victims. The pack charges with bloodthirsty roars, their dark fur matted with the evidence of previous kills. A red-haired fighter stands firm, ready for battle despite the overwhelming odds. The air splits with a WHOSH as a projectile cuts through the chaos, followed by an explosive boom that sends debris flying. Battle erupts with devastating force. A cloaked figure in blue armor moves like death incarnate, his blade finding its mark with surgical precision. Blood drips from his claws as he plunges steel into snarling wolf after wolf. But as the violence ends, his reflection carries no satisfaction. I was wrong, he admits to himself. That wasn't any fun at all. Victory tastes bitter when survival is the only prize. Derek observes the carnage with cold assessment. These wolves are so weak. Meanwhile, a red-haired girl holds a bloodied child, tears streaming as she thinks of her father facing monsters far stronger than these. A woman comforts her, insisting Daddy is strong. But Derek's casual display of power raises a chilling question. Who could kill such beasts so easily? Tommy desperately explains he's just trying to find his way back to his village, but Derek remains coldly pragmatic. He dismisses Tommy's plea to help the villagers, stating he didn't promise to go out of his way for every friend. His brutal logic cuts deep. With what they know of that forest, the village is likely already destroyed. Hope dies with such words. Tommy argues they should go anyway, that people might still be alive and need help. But Derek pulls him closer, his grip firm as he corrects the boy's language. "I'll be the one fighting," he states. "Not we." Derek reminds Tommy of their agreement. He saved the boy's life in the forest, and now Tommy owes him safe passage. Derek's eyes burn with conviction as he delivers his life philosophy. "Do you know why I'm strong? Why I'm even still alive? It's because I rely on myself." His words cut through the night air like a blade. "I don't put my faith in others to help me. I don't go out of my way to be heroic." This is his creed, brutal, selfish, but effective. Tommy's frustration explodes into righteous anger. Every terrible thing that's happened to him came from sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, Derek argues. But Tommy fires back. "That doesn't matter. You're strong now. You should help people." His fists clench as he declares he can't be like anyone else. Two philosophies clash in the darkness. Derek's response is as cold as winter steel. "Exactly. I am an asshole in a world where assholes live and heroes die." His brutal wisdom continues. "Life isn't a fairy tale, kid. One day, I hope you become a proper asshole. Be an asshole, get strong, then be a hero." A harsh lesson in the order of survival. Tommy shouts in defiance, but Derek's lesson runs deeper than mere philosophy. It's a harsh lesson to learn, one so ingrained that Derek sometimes forgets to break it himself. Suddenly, Derek lifts Tommy into the air, leaving the boy startled and confused. "What are you doing?" The unexpected action signals a shift in Derek's resolve. Derek's decision crystallizes with deadly certainty. "We're going to see what's left of that village." Tommy breathes heavily, exhausted from their confrontation, when a menacing growl echoes through the darkness. They stand face to face amidst the devastation, smoke and debris painting the landscape around them. The real test of Derek's philosophy is about to begin. A ferocious beast with a bloodied face charges with a deafening roar, its savage nature on full display. Derek braces for combat, his weapon ready as he faces the creature head-on. The clash is swift and brutal. His blade cuts through the air with lethal precision. In moments, the threat is neutralized in an explosion of violence and determination. They walk through the devastated town, flames and rubble, painting a picture of total destruction. Derek's voice carries grim certainty. He knew it was going to be like this. This is what happens when you aren't strong enough. His words hit like hammer blows. This wasn't a rescue mission. It was a recovery mission. A lesson written in blood and ash. Derek suddenly commands Tommy to stop. "Another beast?" Tommy asks, anxiety creeping into his voice. "Just wait," Derek instructs, his senses picking up something in the chaos. Through the smoke and rubble, a figure emerges. Chief Leon. The unexpected sight of survivors changes everything. Perhaps there's still something worth saving after all. Chief Leon, bloodied and battle-worn, recognizes Tommy with surprise. "What are you doing here? It's not safe." Leon delivers heartbreaking news about Brandis. He fought bravely, but he will not make it. Tommy desperately asks about a healer, but Leon's response crushes that hope. No skilled healer would come to their remote village. Death seems inevitable. Derek wrestles with internal conflict, his principles at war with circumstance. No, I don't go out of my way to be heroic. He questions whether he might need his abilities later, refusing to let Tommy's misplaced heroism infect him. "But there is something I could do," he admits. The battle between self-preservation and compassion rages within. A young man cries out in anguish, "Daddy," as he witnesses a girl in red holding a mortally wounded man. The dying father's final words cut through the chaos. "Be strong for your mother. I love you." In the devastated town filled with debris and flames, family bonds are severed by violence, leaving only grief and whispered goodbyes. The child's desperate pleas echo through the ruins. "I don't want you to be gone. Daddy, please." Derek observes from a distance, his sophisticated black suit contrasting with the chaos. I know it's hard, kid, but you'll get used to it. His cold comfort reflects a world where loss becomes routine, where grieving is a luxury few can afford. Chief Leon confronts Derek with blood-stained authority. Get used to it? The boy just saw his friend's father die. Don't tell him to get used to it. Leon demands to know Derek's identity, questioning why he should trust this stranger with Tommy's life. Derek remains silent, his headset gleaming as tensions rise between protector and pragmatist. Tommy reflects on his own losses with quiet pain. I've lost before when my parents didn't come home. In a way, he admits, I'm jealous. They gotta say goodbye. His thoughts turn practical as he sits in the shadows. I guess I should go over my system notifications. Even in grief, survival demands attention to growth and power. Derek's interface blazes with notifications as he eagerly anticipates his progress. I probably gained quite a few levels. The system confirms his victory. Defeats of undead forest wolves and a black forest bear have pushed him to level 10. Class selection appears, offering incredible options like Shadow Brawler and Chaos Blade. Holy shit, the possibilities are overwhelming. The interface displays advanced class options that defy comprehension. A fiery phoenix blazes behind a red-caped figure, while another warrior channels glowing green energy. The concept of a general guardian suggests trials of worthiness beyond imagination. Derek studies the options with growing anxiety. How is he supposed to manage choices of such magnitude? In the swirling depths of a cosmic void, an ominous figure emerges, the champion of the void. Draped in shadowy armor with demonic horns, this entity represents power beyond mortal understanding. Derek holds a glowing white object as he reflects on the void's nature. It was not a teacher or ally. It was a master, brutal and unforgiving. The ground cracks beneath Derek's feet as understanding dawns. The void had beaten me, broken me, consumed me. But for all its suffering, the void offered something nothing else could control. A shadowy hand extends an offer, asking if he wishes to select champion of the void as his class. His answer reverberates through dimensions, and I was it. Purple lightning erupts around Derek as he channels chaotic energy. Chief Leon pulls Tommy away, warning it's not safe. What the hell is going on? Derek shouts in confusion. New skills surge through Derek's consciousness as he contemplates unleashing his power. Might as well let it out, right? The very air crackles with anticipation of devastation. The transformation reaches its peak as Derek calls upon Vivid Call, triggering an explosion of purple energy that illuminates the battlefield. Chief Leon desperately pleads with the great system for salvation. But Derek embraces the power coursing through him, his excitement palpable as he declares, "This is incredible." Energy swirls around him like a living entity. A catastrophic purple beam crashes down from the heavens, creating widespread destruction. A mother kneels beside her frightened son, unable to explain the chaos unfolding around them. "Mommy, what is going on?" I don't know." A man stares up in disbelief, whispering Derek's name. The very sky seems to be tearing apart. Derek stands with his back turned, purple energy swirling around his form like a living storm. Witnesses struggle to comprehend what they're seeing. A void beast? This is unbelievable. Chief Leon, still holding a child, asks Tommy the question that changes everything. Where did you find such a man? The answer terrifies everyone. In a crumbling structure, a mother tries to comfort her terrified child as purple lightning tears through their world. But Derek's excitement reaches new heights. I get my very own summon. A massive shadowy figure emerges from the chaos, towering above them all. Derek names his new companion with anticipation. What should I call you? Asher? The purple dragon-like creature lets out a guttural growl, its massive form dominating the battlefield. Observers question Derek's sanity. Does he not know what a void beast is? But Chief Leon recognizes something others miss. No, he realizes with growing certainty. I think he can control it. Derek commands with simple authority, sit, and impossibly, the beast obeys. Chaos erupts as a purple energy beam decimates everything in its path. Tommy panics, clinging to Derek while screaming for him to stay back. Thomas tries to protect the boy as debris rains down around them. But from the destruction emerges a menacing figure in blue armor, his face cold with lethal intent. "You shouldn't have done this, Asher. Now I have to kill you." The massive void beast towers against the stormy sky, its presence reshaping reality itself. Derek, blood streaking his face and his shirt torn, takes command of the situation with deadly calm. "Get out of here," he orders Tommy and Thomas. "I don't want you getting in my way." As he activates his identify skill on the approaching threat, one thing becomes crystal clear: this battle will determine everything. In the shadows, frustration boils over. The dark-cloaked figure slams his fist down with crushing force. Damn it! This cursed system refuses to make anything easy. His thoughts turn grim as he recalls barely scratching his enemy's cousin. If this bastard is anything like that monster, there's no room for error. Purple energy crackles across the floor as he unleashes a devastating attack with a primal roar. The massive dragon-like beast rumbles with terrifying presence. The young warrior's eyes widen in disbelief. It blocked that devastating attack with nothing but its palm. His dark hair whips around his face as shock transforms to dread. The creature looms overhead with a menacing snarl, its immense power now undeniable. What seemed like confidence moments ago crumbles into the harsh reality of facing an unstoppable force. A colossal beam of purple energy crashes down from the heavens with thunderous impact. Thomas clutches his chest, gasping in pain and bewilderment. What the hell is happening? The beam moves with impossible speed, leaving him choking on dust and debris. How is it so fast? The energy explodes into the ground with earth-shaking force. His worst fears return as he whispers the words that haunt them all. Not again. Blood drips from the dark-haired fighter's mouth as he gasps in agony. Lying broken on rocky terrain, desperation clouds his judgment. Maybe if he plays dead, this nightmare will simply tire and leave. But before hope can take root, blinding light erupts across the battlefield. The ground shakes violently as explosions tear through the air, each blast bringing him closer to oblivion. The purple-haired warrior's health plummets below 20% as he curses his dire situation. Activating meditation in a desperate bid for survival, he faces the dark creature's glaring red eyes. The beast lunges forward with murderous intent while he counters with a quick stab, shouting his defiance. But his strength wavers as the creature presses its deadly advantage, health dropping with each passing second. Critical health at 15%. The fighter's mouth opens in a silent scream as his life force ebbs away. Leon spots Derek in the distance, urgently calling out while the blonde warrior looks on with growing dread. No time to explain, just keep running. Derek's desperate plea echoes across the battlefield as the monstrous presence prepares another devastating attack. The purple energy shoots skyward, spelling doom for anyone in its path. Even with meditation active, his regeneration isn't enough. The bloodied warrior watches helplessly as his health plummets from 13 to 8%. Every breath is a struggle, every heartbeat precious. But in this moment of desperation, a spark of hope emerges. There, his eyes lock on something that could turn the tide. Against all odds, he successfully learns the heavy weapon's master skill. Blood streams down his face as blue panels flash around him. The system is merging his dormant skills. Multiple abilities combine into something greater, something powerful. The armored figure slams into the ground with earth-shaking force as the void beast unleashes a bone-chilling roar. Heavy weapons master reaches level 20, then upgrades beyond its limits. Power courses through him as the skill evolution completes. Electric blue light illuminates the battlefield as the purple-haired warrior brandishes his weapon with newfound determination. Energy waves slice through the air with each swing of his blade. The dark creature retaliates with overwhelming force, sending shockwaves rippling across the ground. Blood trickles down the fighter's face, but his expression remains resolute. This is his moment, strike or die trying. Come on, just a little more. The dark-haired warrior pushes through his wounds, determination etched on his bloodied face. But frustration mounts as his attacks fail to penetrate. I can't cut it. The odds are stacked against him, yet one final gambit remains untested. Time to fight fire with fire. He channels void energy into his hands, preparing to unleash the very power his enemy wields against him. Ra! The warrior's primal roar echoes across the battlefield as purple energy explodes outward in chaotic beauty. The very air crackles and splits under the immense power he's unleashing. Debris and light shatter around him as space itself seems to fracture. This is his last stand, his final gambit against impossible odds. The energy swirls with violent intensity, a testament to his unwavering will to survive. The armored figure steps forward as silence falls over the devastated battlefield. A pale face with distinctive red markings gasps for breath. Finally, the irony isn't lost, as someone remarks with dark satisfaction. That was fun. Skill notifications flash across ethereal screens, marking significant power gains. But the tension isn't over yet. A knock echoes in the darkness, suggesting new arrivals to this blood-soaked scene. In an elegant chamber, the red-haired woman in green sits at her grand table, adorned with precious gems. A formal butler approaches with urgent documents. Come in, she commands with authority. The news is grave. An abnormal energy signature has been detected, confirming the presence of a void beast. Her eyes gleam with intrigue as she studies the report. Without hesitation, she makes her decision. Send a hunter. Dawn breaks over the forest as hope and dread intermingle. The chief is back. Villagers rush forward with desperate questions. Can they finally go home? Is everyone okay? Where are the others? Leon stands exhausted, his rugged frame bearing the weight of unspeakable loss. The young girl in white clutches her companion's arm, while the blond boy searches Leon's face for answers. But his pained expression speaks volumes before he even begins to respond. Leon's words shatter their fragile hope like glass. There is nothing to go back to. The villagers recoil in shock as the brutal truth sinks in. His dirt-streaked face shows the weight of leadership failure as he confesses his guilt. I have failed as your chieftain. The young woman covers her mouth in horror, while others struggle to comprehend their loss. Leon's final admission cuts deepest of all. I should have died with them. Derek, you're alive. The blond young man's relief is palpable as he spots the rugged survivor emerging from the mist. Derek's scruffy beard and bandaged brow tell the story of his harrowing battle. Leon's description of that monster made survival seem impossible. Yet here Derek stands, defiant against all odds. Of course I am, he responds with characteristic confidence. You didn't think I'd actually die, do you? Derek approaches the grieving widow and her young daughter with unexpected compassion. Hey, Mallory and Brandy, right? I'm sorry for your loss. Mallory's shock is evident. Funeral? She never dared hope for such dignity in these dark times. Derek's blue eyes soften as he reveals his thoughtful deed. He stored her husband's body safely, promising they can give him a proper funeral once they reach safety. Thank you, Mallory whispers, her gratitude overwhelming. Night settles over their makeshift camp as crackling flames provide warmth and light. Stay close to the fire. It's not safe out here at night. But someone grimly observes that nowhere is truly safe anymore. The conversation turns to their recent encounter. So what happened to the Void Beast? Oh, that thing? Derek's casual dismissal of the creature that terrorized everyone else hints at powers beyond their comprehension. Around the campfire under star-filled skies, Disbelief ripples through the group. There are lots of people who could handle a void beast, right? But the woman in green speaks hard truth. Thomas is right. She's rarely heard of anyone even seeing a void beast, let alone defeating one. The bearded man struggles with the implications while shadows dance ominously in the firelight. How is such power even possible? Legends are overrated, one man dismisses with a wave. But their philosophical debate is interrupted by urgent action. All right, everyone up. The spirited woman in white rallies the group from her wagon perch. Time to get moving. They must reach Raina's before sundown. As they prepare to depart, young Brandy tugs on Derek's arm with an innocent request. Can I have some of the animals? Her simple question sparks curiosity about Derek's mysterious collection. The ones in your bracelet. Derek heard her conversation with Thomas about them. With casual magic, he conjures a small creature for the delighted girl. Don't see why not. Brandy's gratitude is heartwarming, but her next question carries deeper weight. Why do you want them, anyway? Her furrowed brow suggests she senses something significant about Derek's request. The golden sunset light cannot quite mask the growing complexity of their situation. Memories flash between present and past as emotional confessions emerge. The red-haired leader breaks down, tears in his eyes. I put my skill point in leatherworking. His voice cracks with vulnerability as he explains his desperate hope to make armor for the village, to protect everyone so no one gets hurt. But the scene shifts to deeper contemplation as someone asks the question that haunts them all. How do you fix yourself when you're broken? Under the colorful twilight sky, Derek and the girl in red gaze into the distance. I got a whole bunch more, he confirms with quiet confidence. Really? She asks, her curiosity evident. But the scene shifts to harsh authority as a stern soldier taps his fingers impatiently. For the 12th time, he growls, I don't care. Proper identification is required, no exceptions. His rigid enforcement of rules creates a stark contrast to Derek's gentle generosity. Raina's fury erupts as she slams her fists into the ground. Then go find. But the blonde gatekeeper merely smiles from his window perch, refusing to abandon his post. This is the most fun I've had all day, he admits with sadistic pleasure. The tension escalates as he challenges another captain's authority. Meanwhile, the rugged leader continues to grapple with his identity crisis, questioning his worth as a chief without a village to protect. At the imposing entrance marked by the Gracefall Decree, bureaucratic tyranny reigns supreme. Please, we have lost everything, Derek pleads, but the guard remains unmoved. Derek's question cuts to the heart of power. And who would enforce this decree if I were to break it? The guard's smug invitation hangs in the air. Oh, please do try. The girl beside Derek fears for his safety as his eyes begin to glow with dangerous intent. Wait. The girl grabs Derek's arm, her wisdom cutting through his rage. Killing a noble is not worth it. It would only make things worse. The platinum blonde guard sneers at her common sense, while heavy footsteps echo ominously. But salvation arrives as Wallace Gracefall himself appears, demanding answers about the chaos at his gates. What the devil is going on out here? His presence shifts the entire dynamic of this volatile confrontation. Destroyed? Wallace's shock is genuine as he processes the news. That is, I'm sorry, truly. But Derek's protective instincts flare as he confronts the noble. Control your thugs, Wallace. These people are under my protection now. The warning is clear as Derek demands respect for the refugees. Raina offers sanctuary with grace. Please come inside. You shall always have a place here. Yet underneath the courtesy, dangerous currents continue to swirl. The confrontation between Raina and the silver-haired official reaches a boiling point. You flout my authority so openly, woman. His threats grow bolder as he looms closer. Do not forget your place. I could squash you and everyone in this village like bugs. But Raina stands her ground with fierce defiance. My place is right here. Yours is back in your The contract with Thomas ends here, but new alliances are clearly being forged. Derek pauses at the Gracefall entrance, his contemplative mood shifting the atmosphere. That's why I want to stay, he admits quietly. Knowledge calls to him more than wandering ever could. A woman in red approaches with unexpected warmth. Hey you, any friends of Leon and Mato are welcome here. Her invitation sparks hope in Derek's eyes. Huh? Oh yeah, I think I will. Sometimes the simplest invitations change everything. Is that aura? The woman's sharp observation cuts through the tension as dangerous energy fills the air. Inside the dimly lit chamber, frustration boils over. She better have a good reason for this. But when anger erupts about Thomas's disappearance, fear grips everyone present. Don't you dare tell me to relax while Thomas is still missing. The sound of tapping feet on creaking floorboards echoes the anxiety they all feel. Delilah's worry for her grandson consumes the room. Finally, Raina gasps in the dim room, her emotional state fragile. But suddenly Grandpa, young Thomas bursts through the door, his joyful energy lighting up the space. His blonde hair bounces as he runs toward his beloved grandparents. Thomas, we. Raina's voice breaks with overwhelming emotion. The elderly couple embraces their grandson as precious words fill the air. We missed you, son. After so much loss, this reunion feels like a miracle. As the group enters the meeting room, Raina questions Leon with pointed authority. What do you think, dealer? Was that important enough? The tension from outside still lingers as everyone takes their seats around the long wooden table. Everyone take your seats. A map spreads across the surface as she assumes control. We have important matters to discuss. The title card for System Universe Episode 07 marks this as a crucial turning point in their story. Sir Derek, the strong blonde woman, begins with formal gratitude. From what Malcor told me, you're the reason Thomas and Leon's village refugees are alive. Derek deflects the praise with characteristic humility. It was nothing. And drop the sir. Just Derek is fine. Tommy teases his grandfather playfully while the elderly man chuckles. But beneath the warm atmosphere, the woman's intense gaze suggests she understands the true weight of Derek's actions. The discussion turns to harsh realities as the woman explains their limitations. If you're doing this for payment, I'm afraid I can offer no such thing. We're stretched thin enough as it is. Derek's confusion is evident. Payment? The scene shifts to lighter moments as someone requests another drink, but the underlying tension about resources and responsibilities remains. They're asking for help they cannot afford to give, yet desperately need to receive. The blonde woman leans forward anxiously, asking about the forest problem. Do you know what's going on with it? Derek's contemplative expression suggests he might have answers. I have an idea. He begins carefully. If this is anything like my old system, his words carry ominous weight as he reveals his theory. A dungeon break. The atmosphere shifts dramatically as the word dungeons appears against a mystical purple sphere, promising danger beyond their understanding. Derek explains the system's fundamental nature as mystical energies swirl across the panels. The lifeblood of the system, he begins describing sources of treasure, power, and danger. Each dungeon is a self-contained world, crafted by the system to test and reward the brave. Green creatures lurk in treasure-laden landscapes, while dragons roam fiery battlegrounds. Only adventurers of lower levels can enter these legendary challenges. But what happens when this carefully balanced system fails? But when the system falters, Derek continues as purple light swirls ominously in the sky, or a dungeon is left to sit and fester. Chaos erupts across the heavens. Dark figures emerge from the chaotic energy, their clawed hands and sinister expressions promising devastation. Monsters spill into the world. Derek explains as the nightmare takes shape, and its power infects the land around it. The very air seems poisoned by this corruption. Disbelief ripples through the chamber as Derek's theory challenges everything they know. What? If there was a dungeon, we would have known about it. But the bearded elder counters with seasoned wisdom. That may be so, but who says there can't be new dungeons? His words carry weight as the possibility sinks in. It would explain everything. The blonde woman seeks confirmation from Richard, while the elder presses Derek. Where did you say you were from again? Derek remains evasive about his origins, deflecting with dark humor. I didn't. Who knows? Maybe those pricks outside can handle it. But the blonde woman interrupts with desperate urgency. Wait, that's why they're here, isn't it? Her plea cuts through the tension as she acknowledges their dire situation. You're strong. I know we can offer nothing, but the weight of asking for help they cannot repay hangs heavily in the air. Derek sighs heavily as he stands, his decision already made. No. His firm refusal surprises everyone, but then he calls to Tommy. Walk with me. The blonde boy perks up eagerly as Derek explains his true purpose. I need to find that little girl. I have more animal pets to give her. His nurturing intent reveals a gentler side as they head down the wooden corridor together, leaving the heavy discussions behind. In the dimly lit room, the blonde woman voices her concern about Derek's approach. He's right, but he doesn't have to be so upfront about it. The elderly man and muscular leader discuss strategy as urgency builds. We need to figure out what to do, and fast. Now that Derek's gone, they can speak openly. What's your take on him? They ask about Leon. The tension suggests Derek's presence affects everyone differently. And what? The blonde girl demands, leaning forward with intense curiosity. And he can summon the void, comes the chilling response. The revelation hangs in the air as the scene shifts to a lively village street bathed in sunlight. But Derek's warning to Tommy cuts through any illusion of safety. This place is not safe. When the boy responds uncertainly, chaos erupts as someone shouts about a mangy rat, violence breaking out in broad daylight. A playground dispute escalates as the cloaked boy snatches something from the girl in white. It's mine. He gave it to me. The girl struggles desperately to reclaim her possession while he taunts her with cruel satisfaction. There. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Get it back. She demands furiously. His mention of Wallace teaching lessons adds sinister weight to their childish conflict. But their scuffle leads to an accidental collision that will change everything. Drop. The command echoes with ominous authority as tension reaches a breaking point. The goddamn. Help. The scared character trembles visibly, sweat beading on his forehead, while Derek stands defiant with glowing blue eyes. His confidence radiates even as explosive sounds amplify the urgency. A mysterious cloaked figure turns away as an ornate hand reaches out with terrible power. This is unacceptable. The final outburst promises severe consequences for this confrontation. A sword pierces the ground with violent force as Wallace's fury erupts. Move out of the way, Reyna, or heads will roll. The golden-haired noble demands justice with righteous anger. But Reyna stands firm in her flowing red robe, commanding him to stand down. I will not allow you to fight within my village. Her authority clashes with his as worried villagers look on. Already this newcomer brings chaos to their peaceful haven. Tommy comforts the crying girl as she clutches her precious fur coat, her soft sniffles breaking hearts nearby. Above them, Wallace's armored figure declares with cold finality, so be it. His golden armor gleams as he makes a decisive gesture, tossing something toward a shadowy figure. Here, you can have her. The casual cruelty of his words echoes Leon's earlier warnings about trusting this dangerous newcomer too quickly. Tommy clings desperately to Derek as the painful truth sinks in. What? But you said, Derek's gentle but firm explanation cuts through the boy's protest. I was just about to leave the village anyway. Don't worry, Tommy. I'll be back. His parting instructions carry the weight of a father figure. Eat your vegetables, listen to your grandparents, and train hard. The training device in Tommy's hands feels like both gift and burden. Derek, was it? The silver-haired man in ornate blue armor steps forward with menacing intent. You're lucky, but Derek cuts him off with deadly certainty. I'm going to stop you right there. The armored figure's threat is simple and brutal. If you ever lay a finger on anyone from this village again, The unfinished sentence hangs in the air before Derek's explosive response shatters all pretense. I will kill you. The declaration echoes with absolute conviction. Rain soaks the forest as Wallace stands with his companions, his dark armor gleaming wetly. Just his presence fills me with such. The word terror reverberates through the air as they contemplate Derek's overwhelming aura. A stoic woman with braided hair maintains composure while others show visible distress. The bearded man glances at a worried girl as they all struggle with the same realization. Follow him, Wallace commands, but fear grips them all. Derek contemplates his next challenge as he walks deeper into the forest. Thomas mentioned an achievement for killing something over 100 levels higher. He calculates the distance needed to find such powerful prey, confident in his low-level status as protection. But danger watches from above. A grinning blonde assassin perches on a branch, drawing back his bowstring with sadistic pleasure. Night, night, peasant. You'll never even know what hit you. The ambush is set. Derek Hunt stares at his stat screen, calculating his next move. Multiple level-ups have left him drowning in unspent points. He needs a monster at least level 5 to make this worth his while. But as he contemplates distributing his precious stat points, something clicks. A realization strikes like lightning. Oh, his expression shifts to pure focus. It's time to finally take action. For over an hour, Derek has felt eyes watching him. Took him long enough, he thinks with dark satisfaction. Gaming notifications flood his vision. Jack of all trades, meet shield. Achievements unlocking like a cascade. 2 free skills? His excitement is palpable. But the silver-haired hunter in ornate blue armor stares in disbelief. What? How did I miss? Confusion replaces confidence as his perfect ambush crumbles. Rain pounds the forest as the blonde assassin reels from the impossible. No, impossible. His voice cracks with disbelief. The idiot should never have noticed the arrow coming. Wallace's dark armor gleams menacingly as steel rings through the air. FLSH. An arrow whistles through the downpour with explosive force. Boom! But Derek's response is ice-cold irritation. Do you mind? As if death itself has just interrupted his lunch. Derek's focus shatters as he protests. I'm in the middle of picking a new skill. The gold ear-ringed assassin stammers in terror. Why you? How did? His words die as Derek moves. Turn. Leap. Leap. Through the canopy like a phantom, leaving his hunter questioning everything. Who the hell is this monster? Derek's only concern? Whether he's lost his persistent stalker. The hunter has become the hunted. Perched in the branches, Derek wrestles with impossible choices. Should I choose stun resist or magic resistance? The decision torments him. Maybe thorns? But his concentration explodes when the dark-haired boy in blue clothes crashes past. Get the hell away from me. Derek grips the branch, steadying himself as chaos erupts around him. Even skill selection becomes a battlefield when you're being hunted. From his tree branch perch, Deadeye announces his ultimate technique with theatrical flair. Deadeye's Barrage. Derek rolls his eyes at the dramatic proclamation. Really? Calling out the name of your skill? Kinda lame. But mockery turns to chaos as the forest explodes. Kaboom! Smoke and debris fill the air. Through gasping breaths, Deadeye wonders if his flashy attack found its mark. Did I? The tree explodes in a shower of splinters and magical energy. Did I get him? The blonde assassin's voice carries desperate hope. Almost. Derek's calm response cuts through the chaos like a blade. His new magic resistance skill proves its worth immediately. Too bad I already chose magic resistance. Thwack! Reality hits hard as feet touch muddy ground, and someone approaches with deadly purpose. Panic fills the dark-haired man's voice as he discovers his comrade's condition. What the hell happened to you, Jouffre? The rugged blonde warrior's face tells the story. Dirt-streaked, broken, defeated. I couldn't even scratch him, Jouffre admits, his voice hollow with shame. The authoritative figure's command is swift and final. Gather your things. But the revelation that follows shocks everyone. We're fleeing? The refusal comes swift and absolute. No, but strategy overrules bravado. We're getting reinforcements. The scene shifts to tranquil beauty. Derek walking beside a babbling stream as sunset paints the forest gold. His gaming instincts kick in as he points at random objects. Identify. Tree. Rock. Each successful identification brings a small smile. Identity level up. Even mundane skills can grow in this strange world. Derek's identifies skill targets, something unexpected. Identity. FY. A horned rabbit with pristine white fur and a spiral horn regards him with curious pink eyes. Hey there, little fella. Derek crouches down with genuine warmth. What are you doing out here in these big Horton woods? His voice softens with affection. You're actually pretty cute. But then his gamer instincts surface with dark humor. Even if you were over level 112, I might not K. The forest erupts in jagged chaos. Blue and purple wisps spiral through the air as the small mystical creature reacts violently to Derek's words. What the hell? Derek's confusion is genuine as the peaceful moment shatters. The creature flies away in a burst of magical energy, leaving Derek bewildered in the wake of its sudden transformation. Sometimes even the cutest things hide deadly secrets. The rabbit hits the ground with a resounding crunch, its unicorn horn gleaming menacingly. What did it do to you? Derek questions, weapon already glowing in his hand. The creature bounces with aggressive energy, KMP, MMPH, huffing with irritation. Derek can't help but smirk at the absurdity. All right, Fine. You want to go? His stance shifts to combat ready as the rabbit makes threatening KRR sounds. Let's go. Even cute things want to fight here. Derek launches into action with explosive force. Boom. His kick sends the pink creature spinning through the air, blue energy trailing from his movements. But instead of violence, he catches it mid-flight with surprising gentleness. Snatch! The creature's wide eyes reflect pure shock as Derek chuckles warmly. You're a little daredevil, aren't you? His tone is playful despite the combat. Sometimes the best fights end in unexpected friendship. The rabbit's bite lands with a sharp bite. 26 damage flashes across Derek's vision. Haru, 26 damage? That's nothing. He shrugs off the pain. But realization strikes him cold. Wait, that could kill him. His thoughts turn to Thomas as sweat beads on his forehead. This seemingly harmless creature could be lethal to anyone without his defensive capabilities. I'm just going to leave you right here, he decides reluctantly. Derek walks away through dappled sunlight, the mystical creature watching with annoyed eyes. Bye-bye, Psycho Murder Bunny, he calls over his shoulder with dark humor. But his mind is already shifting to strategy. Which restorative skill should I choose? His defensive magic resist proved invaluable already, as holographic options shimmer before him. Pure heal, life leech, he reminds himself. One-time opportunity. Don't squander. Every choice matters now. 3 glowing panels hover before Derek like divine offerings. Cure toxin makes him scoff. Curing poisons and toxins? Huh, not worth it. Life leech draws consideration. Heal myself based on damage ideal? Maybe. But rejuvenation captures his attention. A targeted heal? Not bad. He bites his finger in contemplation, weighing each choice carefully. Finally, his hand reaches out with decision. Ding! Rejuvenation selected. Rejuvenation learned successfully. The notification glows with promise. But Derek's triumph turns to self-recrimination. Just in case I need to heal someone else. Damn it. If I'm taking this, why did I leave? His face contorts with regret. For a damn achievement? Years of solitude finally broken, and he walked away. I finally meet people after how many years alone, and I just what? The weight of loneliness crushes down. Alone in the dim forest clearing, Derek questions everything. Run away into the woods? What is wrong with me? He holds his head in anguish, the weight of his choices crushing him. Self-justification follows. I just would have caused them issues. An explosion interrupts his spiral of doubt. His weapon appears in his hands as confusion takes hold. What the hell? Sometimes the forest doesn't let you wallow in peace. The fluffy creature with its purple tuft has followed him still. You're still following me? Derek asks in disbelief. Do you have a grudge or something? The bunny's mischievous response is cut short by sudden violence. Whoa. A wolf attacks with vicious fury. Bite. Howl. The bunny transforms from cute companion to fierce protector, its expression turning deadly as forest predators close in. Even murder bunnies have hearts. Derek studies his unlikely companion with grim amusement. This bunny is a psychopath and an idiot, but survival trumps judgment. All right, fine, tag along, but you better not slow me down. Through the darkening forest they travel, an odd pair united by violence. Later, by crackling campfire light, Derek wields a spatula with the same confidence he holds a sword. Even warriors need to eat. Combat erupts as Derek grapples with a fearsome beast, desperation etched on his face. The creature's agonized howl, echoes through the darkness. But peace follows violence. Derek sits by the campfire, gently petting the small, fluffy creature beside him. Scritch, the soft sound of contentment. Exhaustion claims him as he curls up for rest. Yet even sleep brings no safety. His eyes snap open in alert panic. Danger never truly sleeps. Morning brings a massive yawn as Derek stretches under the skeletal trees. Yawn. The mist hangs heavy, lending an eerie quality to the twisted forest. Come on, murder bunny, let's go, he calls over his shoulder. But the small pink creature responds with confused innocence. Derek glances back with visible frustration, sweat beading on his forehead. Even murder bunnies can look adorable in the right light. Derek recognizes the boundary as the fluffy creature stops following. I see. So this is the point where you'll no longer follow me. His farewell carries genuine warmth. I'd say good luck, but his confidence in the creature is absolute. I don't think anything in this forest stand a chance against you. As he walks away, an inner voice whispers counsel. Calm down, Derek. In the distance, a dark purple portal swirls ominously, promising new dangers ahead. A mysterious voice cuts through Derek's self-doubt like a blade. You're not trapped anymore. You're alone, but only because you want to be. The words echo through the twisted forest where shadows dance between haunting branches. You choose to be. A glowing orb materializes in the darkness, pulsing with otherworldly energy. Derek's determination crystallizes as he spots his prize. There it is. Identify. Destiny calls through the darkness. Derek stares at the dungeon entrance, eerie green light casting ominous shadows. I'd almost certainly find something high enough level for the achievement in there. But wisdom overrules ambition. But there's no way I'm going in. The risk of being trapped again terrifies him. I should head back. Those noble assholes should be gone by now. Behind him, a shadowy figure materializes. Hizz. Turn. Danger has found him anyway. In a misty clearing, Derek's confidence returns as he spots his perfect target. Hello there. His greeting carries predatory satisfaction. You're exactly what I've been looking for. The acidic ghoul, level 115, lurks nearby with its skeletal face and glowing green eyes. Derek's search for a worthy opponent has finally ended. Fate delivers exactly what he needs, a monster powerful enough to grant his achievement.
Derek's smirk widens with dark intent. You're exactly what I've been looking for. The bruise on his face only adds to his determination. And what I really want is something to take it out on. The ghoul responds with a menacing grrrack, green energy crackling around its horn form. Derek charges forward, sword drawn, energy erupting around him. Slash! The clash begins with explosive violence in the misty forest depths.
Steel meets bone as Derek's sword slices through the skeletal monster's defenses. The creature gurgles in agony, green energy spilling from its wounds. Is that all you got? Derek taunts mercilessly. I was expecting more from a level 100, but the ghoul's phantom hand suddenly grabs him, spectral fingers tightening around his throat. Grab! Irk! Derek's confidence falters as the monster proves it still has fight left. The cloaked figure swings with deadly precision. Swish. Derek, bloodied but unbroken, steadies himself against the assault. That's fine. His resilience shines through the pain. A brilliant explosion erupts with a deafening SHOM as supernatural forces clash. The shadowy enemy grins with malicious glee, energy crackling around their weapon. More fun for me. Each exchange only heightens their deadly dance. Blood and bruises mean nothing when survival is everything. The misty forest becomes an arena of supernatural combat. Ominous shadows loom as Derek prepares for the ultimate clash. His glowing blade cuts through the air with a sharp slash, while strain shows in his determined expression. HNGH. Every movement demands his absolute focus. The monstrous form retaliates with devastating force. Boom. Dark energy explodes throughout the clearing as two unstoppable forces collide in the heart of the wilderness. The ghost skull's howl pierces the forest graph. Green energy surges around the muscular shadow as power builds to breaking point. VZHHHH. Derek, bloodied and battered, channels pure defiance through his wounds. His challenge cuts through the supernatural chaos like a battle cry. You call yourself a level 115? Wounded but unbroken, he questions everything about this world's strength. Is this what passes for strength in this system? Purple energy erupts from Derek's form as his true power awakens. The skeletal monster's hollow eyes widen in terror as it faces something beyond its comprehension. Don't make me laugh. Derek's voice carries absolute authority. His sword becomes a conduit for devastating force, jagged lines of destruction cutting through reality itself. The massive shockwave scatters debris and rocks like leaves in a hurricane. True power reveals itself at last. Victory tastes bitter as Derek stands among the sizzling remains. The notifications flood his vision. 4,345 experience gained. Multiple level ups. Greater Giant Slayer achievement unlocked. But satisfaction turns to frustration as he surveys the acid damage to his equipment. Damn it, his armor bears the scars of supernatural combat. Even triumph comes with a price in this unforgiving world. The ground still hisses with residual acid. Derek examines the glowing orb in his palm, while his torn shirt reveals the price of victory. Bloodstains mark his chest as he grimaces at the damage. I'll have to store it until I can get it repaired. The uncertainty haunts him, whenever that will be. His shirt is completely ruined, adding insult to injury. I should have bought more while I was still on Earth. The simple luxuries of his old world feel impossibly distant now. 2 weeks have passed since Derek left Raina's village. Thomas examines his bloodied shirt in the misty forest, tension evident in his bandaged forehead. The scene shifts to the peaceful village below, nestled under vibrant skies. Almost done, Thomas? The golden-haired boy asks anxiously. Thomas replies with careful focus, almost. Then triumph rings out as the young companion finishes his task. Finished. Progress continues even in Derek's absence. The brown-haired young man shows off his handiwork with confident pride. What do you think? The red-haired girl's enthusiasm is infectious. I love it. Their playful banter continues as he offers his services to others. If anyone else needs one, send them my way. But her warning cuts through his entrepreneurial spirit. Don't even think about it. The blonde boy wisely retreats from her serious tone. Okay, I'll stop offering. Brandy sits surrounded by crafting tools, frustration etched on her face. I just think I've done everything I can with the hides Derek gave me. Her auburn hair catches the sunset light as she voices her predicament. The blonde boy understands her struggle, sharing his own weight for Derek's return. He asked me to wait until he got back before unlocking my system on my birthday. Their shared hope for Derek's return bonds them in uncertainty.
On their grassy overlook, the boy reassures Brandy with quiet confidence. I know he'll find something for me. But as the peaceful moment fades, darker discoveries emerge. The void beast, someone killed it here. His hand tightens as supernatural senses awaken. This second energy I'm sensing. The village spreads peacefully below them, unaware that traces of otherworldly conflict linger in their midst. Some mysteries refuse to stay buried. A hand flicks something from the ground. FLCK. Purple dots form a glowing trail leading through the mist like breadcrumbs of supernatural energy. It leads toward. The hooded figure emerges from the shadows, quiver full of arrows, face hidden beneath a dark cloak. Their voice carries grim certainty as they identify the destination. The other village. The hunt is about to begin, and someone is following a very dangerous trail.